Warpugs, it's a zoo of infinite suffering, a 100-year Planet Zoo challenge. I haven't played Planet Zoo. Games like that actually relax me, but instead I play League, because I hate myself. I think that's the only logical explanation for why I play League anymore. Warpugs, we're gonna get into this. Planet Zoo... the closest thing I've played to Planet Zoo is Jurassic Park, and that was because I could sick velociraptors that I hyped up on genetics and cocaine, and sent them into the park. It's always a good sign. Guys, there's going to be something completely broken about this, either game mechanic-wise or just simply mind-wise, but we're still going to love it. Why? Because it's a Spiffing Brit. Let's get into it. All links are in the description down below. Half of you guys don't subscribe to me. Please hit that subscribe button, or else the kitten will cry. Don't make the kitten cry. Let's get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're about to play an absurd game of Planet Zoo. This is a video game where the goal is to support wildlife conservation and entertain guests by hosting a glorious variety of endangered species.
Yes.
However, after my one pool challenge video, a commenter asked if I could survive 100 days in Planet Zoo using just one animal. They said it would be impossible. Normally I wouldn't bother doing this challenge, but I noticed that they drink coffee. Now I need to prove them wrong and show them that the divine light of tea is the one true path for gamers. So the challenge...
Bring in the tea. Tea conquered the world. And tea is also the preferred drink of the best character in 40k.
And just said, one park, one species, 100 days.
Okay.
Actually, that seems too easy. After all, I am the Spiffing Brit, a master exploiter of video games and the sexiest man in Britain. No, let's go for 100 years.
Okay.
But what is the one species that will carry a zoo for 100 years? Is it rare and exotic? No, it's the common Sussex chicken. One of the cheapest and statistically worst animals in the entire game. And I decided to use them because it let me title this video as the Planet Zoo Cock-Only Challenge. I interrupted.
Oh God. Really? I thought the thumbnail was just a joke, but still.
Wonderful video with a word from our sponsor,
Let's go.
Genshin Impact.
Yes!
It wants me to tell you wonderful sausages that Genshin Impact is now available on Xbox from the 20th of November. And to celebrate, a free wind glider will be given when you log in on Xbox. Oh, and free Primogens shall be given to Xbox Game Pass members on every version update.
Get your waifu, Genshin Impact.
By linking your Hoyoverse account with your Microsoft account, you can sync your progress across platforms for a seamless multi-platform experience.
Yes.
But what is Genshin Impact? Jeez, you must have been living under a rock. It's a breathtaking open-world RPG adventure that lets you wiggle around the magical land of Teyvat. In the upcoming patch 5.2, you can unlock Chaska and Auroron. I absolutely nailed that pronunciation.
Good job.
Let's be real, you just want Chaska because she can fly around on a gun. Now that's real magic. When you
So can Caitlyn, if you have the right skin on her. Hers transforms into a motorcycle.
are, of course, floating around on a gun, you can visit this update's beautiful new landscapes like the Quahachang Cliffs and Tazatapanalco Range, or the dangerous and corrupted Ojkanatalan. Okay, I had no chance of being able to pronounce those, but I gave it my best British try. Yes,
The best video I've ever seen is a guy pronouncing a town name in just this Welsh name for this town. And it literally sounded like somebody grabbed him and started shaking him while he was trying to pronounce a very long word rather than a word itself.
I'm a fan of exploring and chilling inside of cool gaming landscapes, and this one is some of the best. So what are you waiting for? Go click the link in the description and try out Genshin Impact on Xbox or a platform of your choice today.
Assemble your team of waifus now.
Welcome everyone, it is January of our first year and we have this wonderful massive zoo ahead of us.
Yay!
And we have just $10,000 to try and make a profitable theme park, else we will go bankrupt and our challenge will be over.
Oh
now,
no!
I have named our zoo, but I'm not going to be saying it aloud for YouTube reasons.
Congratulations, my good sir.
personally believe that this particular branding inspires excitement and potentially will attract more guests into our park.
Right.
Now, when it comes to actually constructing a zoo in this game, there's actually a lot of things you have to balance. You have to worry about animal welfare, you've got to worry about your guests' actual happiness, and of course managing the needs of your staff. And considering we really don't have much money to work with, that means we need to be very frugal when it comes to actually constructing our zoo. So to begin with, we're just going to build ourselves a brand new enclosure, like so. It is a 40-meter by 40-meter glass box, and now we must build the perfect ideal habitat for chickens. This means they need access to water and feeding platforms, a few leaves to act as bedding, and then finally some enrichment items. And it's only cost us, about half of our entire supply of money. Right, so from here on out, we're going to actually need to buy a few key things. We need a trade center, which we can buy animals from, a keeper hut, so that we can actually feed the animals, and then eventually we will probably want to get ourselves a veterinary surgery, but it is $4,000, and I do not have the money for animal welfare at the moment. So some of our chickens may die, but that is a sacrifice that we are just going to have to take.
Hey, serve them up in the, lunchroom. Any chicken exhibit that dies, put it to use. I got some salt, pepper, and garlic.
I'm going to want a couple of extra bits of staff, so we'll need a caretaker and a keeper. The problem with actually hiring these people is they are going to cost a good amount of money each year. But still, our park is now ready. All we need is some actual animals. And so for that, we're going to buy some chickens off the black market. There we go. Now that they've arrived in our zoo, we can send them into their enclosure.
Yay!
And my goodness, we are low on cash. Ouch, this is very bad. But here is our first animal. Yes, it's here. Wabam. It's Tigid. Well, we can actually rename you, can't we? You shall be Grognar the Destroyer, and you're going to be our one male chicken. And now, with the arrival of these chickens, we've started seeing our first park guests.
Yay!
Yes, that's right. 20 people have now arrived and paid money to enter the park. Now, when these people are here, they are going to be entertained by looking at these chickens. And we can see that currently their happiness is pretty high. Because, well, they're looking at chickens. It isn't that exciting. They like to...
It's okay. There's not much vandalism in the zoo. The staff facilities are well hidden, the animals are well looked after, and the educational speakers are well laid out. That's absolutely fantastic. Look at your chickens.
The zoo is clean and tidy. They like that there's not much vandalism. They only had to pay $3 each to look at a chicken behind a glass wall, but that's good value. However, we're not making money off of these people. Once they've spent their $3 to arrive, after that point, we are just losing money. Having 65 people in a park to look at just chickens is impressive, but I don't necessarily know if we're going to be able to increase that number very easily. So I think it probably makes more sense for us to actually find ways to monetize our limited supply of guests better. Of course, we don't actually have anything for them to spend money on. However, we can buy ourselves donation boxes. This is a little item that we can put down that if guests are having a nice time looking at the animals, they can make a donation. And there we go. Someone has just donated $20 to the donation box because they've really enjoyed looking at cock. Our guests, they have many different needs that are tracked and measured to provide an overall score of their experience. If guests have a good time in the zoo, then they'll donate and the park rating goes up, meaning more guests are likely to visit. They are slightly weird though, as they tick off animals after seeing them once. This means that in a huge zoo with maybe 2 awesome elephant enclosures, guests will only care about the first one and will never go near the second. So this limits us to just 1 chicken enclosure. Of course, this has an unintended side effect. Because we have just 1 thing to visit, guests can complete the entire zoo experience rather quickly. You arrive, see a chicken, feel happy, donate, and then leave before you have time to get hungry, thirsty, or start questioning the suspicious animal welfare practices. Now, one thing that people are complaining about is they're struggling to get a view of the animals, and that's partly because we only have 3 animals, but that's about to change because our incredible cock, Grognar the Destroyer, has decided to get it on with Nicola. Well, that's going to hopefully increase the amount of chickens that we get into this enclosure, and this is something that we're able to hopefully improve once more by buying some more chickens off of the market. We can buy Janet, the Sussex chicken, and Linda, the Sussex chicken, and now we can add these 2 lucky ladies into our exhibit. And of course, due to the way that chickens operate, they generally produce quite quickly, meaning Nicola, by the end of this month, is going to have already produced our first offspring. Okay, so
Good.
earlier I said that chickens are one of the worst animals to choose for this challenge, but I didn't explain why. So let's explain the problems with cock. The guests think that these are common creatures, and so they're only willing to donate a maximum of $20 each. They also get sick easily, and due to their high rate of breeding, just like European royal families, incest is inevitable.
Right.
The long-term results are a rather pathetic exhibit that must be designed in a specific way to maximize the profit margins from guests whilst lowering costs for maintenance. However, I must experiment before we reach our perfect profitable zoo that can stand the test of time. One thing I've noticed is that guests can be educated, and the more educated guests are, the more cash they are willing to spend.
Okay.
Now, our donations are looking pretty good. We've received 5,000 donations so far for people to look at just 5 chickens in a glass box.
That's always good.
Realistically, we need to improve this. So in order to improve the educational level, we're going to add some educational speakers next to this exhibit that is going to educate people on the Sussex chicken. This Habitat educational board will now advertise that we have chickens inside of it, and then all of these little boards will talk about some kind of conservation crisis that's going on, like bee populations declining, or deforestation, and overexploitation. Geez, I would never. But yes, all of these little educational boards help teach people about the importance of animals and animal welfare. And that then means that when they come up to this little donation bucket, they're more likely to donate, and they're more likely to donate a larger amount of money. And oh, would you look at that? We've got some baby chickens.
Yes.
Oh, it's Warren the juvenile chicken. Wow, look at the appeal on that cock. Now, here's the thing. These chickens are brand new. They have just spawned in, but we can sell them right away.
Nice.
For $127. You're worth
$127 for a chicken? This game is cracked.
Edith, you're not that valuable. We'll keep you. How about you? You're worth 135. Yeah, we'll get you sold. This is good money, ladies and gentlemen. We can have these chickens spawn in, and then we get to sell them. Now, of course, we don't have that many chickens, but if we were to have even more chickens, or maybe a way to produce even more chickens, well, then this entire process would speed up a bit. So I think we're going to need to actually introduce some additional male chickens. We're going to grab Addison, we're going to grab Stanislav, and you know what? We'll even grab Frederic the chicken and Lindsay. And now some of our baby chickens are actually starting to mature. They're now actually able to produce baby chicks of their own.
Ooh.
Now, of course, a chicken maturing is pretty good, but they also lose their value when they mature. However, I still think it is a good idea because the more chickens we have, the better. In total, we have 21 animals, which is...
I was going to say something there, but well, he doesn't worry about YouTube monetization. I do.
It's pretty good indeed. And most of our animals have now come from our zoo. Oh, and Robin, the Sussex chicken, is about to inbreed. Robin, no! I mean, we can let it happen, or we can apply contraceptives. Oh, Robin is now expecting offspring. Okay, Robin is about to have a large quantity of incest babies, but that's fine. You know, I play a lot of Crusader Kings. I know how to handle this situation. It'll all be okay.
Yes, it'll be fine.
Actually, check on my favorite chickens. Where's Grognar the Destroyer? Here he is. He's 5 years old. He's great. Let's take a look at his genealogy. He has had 20 offspring. Grognar, you absolute dog. Wow. Now, one thing that is quite important. Oh, dear. Hang on a second. Lindsay the chicken here is incubating a disease. Oh no. Dear. I think we have $13,000 in the bank. I think now is the time where we treat ourselves to actually having a vet. So we're about $4,000 on that. Unfortunately, vets are incredibly expensive, so we have just massively increased the cost of our staff wages. We're at about 3 times what we originally were, but I get the feeling that actually having vets will increase the amount of chickens we can have spawn in, and then that in turn will increase our chicken profitability.
Yes.
Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, I've actually discovered a problem. Poor Lewis, the Sussex chicken here, is unfortunately an outsider. Yes, you see, we have too many male chickens. As it means that poor Lewis here has been ostracized from his local society. He's unable to breed or interact. Wow,
Well, chicken nuggets are a thing.
Just like you watching it out. But anyway, because we have the gender imbalance, we kind of need to fix it. And so that means we need to view all of our species and find, quite a few adult males. So we're going to grab Addison, Terry, Nigel, Michael, Warren, Itai. And what we are going to do is give them a new lease on life. And that new lease on life is a truck towards the abattoir. So we're able to get rid of quite a few chickens. And that is going to make us $400. There we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Jeez, why am I losing so much money? These staff wages are so high. We're actually making negative now. Yeah, I think we're going to have to let some of our staff go. I'm going to get rid of our vet. We just can't afford animal welfare at the moment. Maybe when we have a little bit more money, we can have animal welfare again.
Right.
And nature is healing. As you can see, Itai here is now able to integrate in with the other adults because we've rebalanced the gender ratio.
There we go.
You also might notice that there are a lot of people walking around in the exhibit. That is because we've decided to add an actual walkthrough zone, which is great because they get really excited about seeing the chickens, and hopefully that means
I get what he did there. Excited.
they can donate more money. No! Grognar the Destroyer is about to die of old age. Grognar, you were the premium chicken, the single greatest chicken we've ever experienced.
Yes.
Oh, we have to be there. You are simply one of the greatest creatures the world has ever seen, but unfortunately, you have died of old age. You are still moving.
Yes.
You okay? You're dead. You're definitely dead. It does say you are dead, Grognar. Is this chicken an immortal? Oh, no, there we go. He's decided to die now. And the chicken has just replaced him. Stanislav just eating his body. There's a child walking on over here.
Yeah.
Right, well, we need to celebrate Grognar's death. We've decided to create the Grognar Memorial Tree in order to remember him with this lovely message dedicated in loving memory of our king, Grognar.
Grognar, you will be missed, my guy.
The Destroyer. He was a fine species, and cause of death, honestly, I'm not even convinced he's died.
Grognar lives on. In you, in me, in all of us. Because he's on sale at your local Walmart or grocery store. And Grognar is delicious.
So zoos are expensive and I have basically no money. How do we make more? Well, we already charge guests a few dollars for visiting, but as we only have one animal, we can't exactly raise the prices. Guests just simply won't turn up. Another way we could make a profit is to sell food and drinks to the guests, but as they only spend a very short period in our park, they always leave before they get hungry or thirsty. This leaves us with two final ways we can make money: donations and selling animals. God, why did I do this to myself? It's horrible. Am I really going to spend 100 years min-maxing profits out of chickens just to prove one coffee drinker wrong?
Yes!
Yes, I am. Well, we are now up to $16,000 in the bank, which is very good. And something you might notice is that there's a lot more chickens now. Yeah, it turns out chickens spawn quite quickly. We now have a total of 148. Wow, that's a lot of cock. Yeah, it's an incredibly large quantity of chickens. And most of the time, they just spend it standing around, slowly starving to death. Because, yes, that is kind of a problem we have. And it is currently costing us $1,400 per time that we feed them. So, yeah, that's kind of an issue. Now, there are a few ways we can deal with
What are those chickens eating is the question. 148 chickens. Just get them a bag of birdseed.
this. However, I think it's actually just a lot easier if instead we cull our chicken population in order to save on food costs. So what I'm going to do is select every single chicken we have and quick trade them. This will make $4,000. Of course, this will deselect all of the children chickens. However, there's enough male and female young chickens that we don't have to worry about this. So we're just going to sell 112 chickens for $4,000. Wabam, there they go. We get a bunch of cash and the cycle can now continue.
Yay!
Brand new chickens can now reintegrate with our society and grow up and have baby chickens of their own. It's a perfectly balanced cyclical ecosystem. And most importantly, if I now check, yes, it only costs us $240 to feed them.
There you
That's
go.
more like it. But yes, we've made it to year 11, which is very good. Part of me wonders if I'm able to maintain this entire park for 100 years. I mean, we're kind of balancing on a knife's edge. I feel like we're one negative instant away from just running out of money because $20,000 in this game is nothing. So yeah, we're not exactly in a comfortable spot, but that's still not going to stop me from doing my best to try and make a quick buck off of chickens.
Okay.
You've rejoined me at year 15. I kind of left my PC for a bit and made myself a cup of tea, and then I came back and unfortunately 66 of our chickens are dying of the plague, which is
no.
quite the problem indeed. I'm just going to delete all the notifications and there we go. That feels a lot better. We do have one vet that is systematically going through and treating as many of these chickens as possible, but even then, it's going to take a lot. Some of it is life-threatening. Let's find any of these dangerous diseased chickens and just send them to the the trade center. There
Yeah.
we go. You know, maybe actually seeing a bunch of diseased and dying chickens will help people donate more money to the park.
Maybe.
That's potentially a thing. Gosh, this is actually insane. It's basically every single chicken here is diseased. Box all animals. There we go. Right, we're just sending every animal to the trade center, and then we're going to buy some fresh animals. There we go.
There
We'll
we
just
go.
find some nice, happy, healthy animals, and we'll put them in, and it's almost like these ones were never ill. Fantastic. Look, people are still happy, right? They still get to see the chickens. Yeah, there's only like 2 of them. Alert? What's the alert? How can there be an alert? One of them is diseased. You're not healthy. Back in the box. You will notice that the chicken population of this exhibit is down, and
Yes.
that is actually how I like it. I noticed that the more chickens we had, the more we were spending on feeding them, and our donations weren't actually going up. At the same time, I've noticed that our donations were actually going down because most of our guests were having too much fun walking through the exhibit and not enough time standing outside of the exhibit throwing money into the donation bucket. So yes, I've been tidying all of that up so that we have an actual efficient money-making system. And now, without any of those pesky veterinarians telling me that the 78 chickens I have stashed in a box is inhumane, everything's working fine. We have over 100 chickens currently sat in a box over here in a trade center. I don't know how they all fit inside of this tiny building, but they're in there, and from a
Look, they're chickens. You can make them fit.
legal perspective, they're apparently alive. And whilst they're held in that temporary stasis of suffering, they can't die of the diseases they carry. And that's basically humanitarian.
Yeah,
What
you're
if we
good.
actually tried to run a minimalist version of our zoo? After all, we have 250 people here to see a bunch of chickens, but the more chickens we have, the more expensive they are. So logically, if we just took all of the animals in the zoo and just say, sent them to the trade center, so that there
Okay.
was only 1 chicken remaining. Yep, all we need is a single chicken called Richard, and I don't think that should
Okay.
affect our guest's opinion at all. If Richard gets ill, well, we just send him off to Fantasyland and replace him with a different chicken. Meanwhile,
Named
he gets
Richard.
to enjoy absolute palatial luxury in this massive exhibit where he will be cripplingly lonely. But it doesn't matter because he has a lot of space and it's a very chill vibe.
Nice.
Richard is the ultimate bachelor, and the amount of guests in our park has maintained the same. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is one of the most efficient zoos the world has ever seen.
It
so
is.
let's check back in on Richard in a few years' time. Oh no, on the 6th of August, on our 38th year, Richard the chicken, who we've all known and loved, has died. This is the first event in our park in basically 13 years, which is a real shame because he was indeed a great chicken. However, people are
And people are just not caring.
still paying money. They don't actually seem to mind that we have, you know, no chickens left. Oh no, it's dead. The Sussex chicken is dead. Okay, right, they have noticed. They should get another
Yeah.
Sussex chicken so that one has company. What, that one? That one
Leave him be. He's fine.
is a corpse. Well, it seems that people have largely stopped donating. They're still willing to pay ticket prices to get in, but they won't bother donating unless they see the cock. But what if I just eliminated staff wages? If we fired all of the staff, we would still be able to make money. There is no longer any staff left in the zoo. Let's see if we can make money with a zoo that just features an empty enclosure and nothing else. There
Okay.
isn't anyone working here anymore. It's just me. Right, it's year
Alone with your chicken factory.
75 and our zoo is still doing really good. As you can see, we have 315 guests in our park. Yes, they no longer donate money. Our only source of revenue is ticket sales, but that's okay. We don't have any running costs.
Oh
Our
my
guests
God.
have a 5-star happiness rating. At the same time, our park is probably good value. No one is upset and we haven't lost any sales. In total, we're about to cross the 51,000 total visitors mark. That's right, 51,000 people have visited this zoo to look at chickens, and now they can visit the zoo to look at a billboard of a chicken, which is
How like late stage capitalism?
almost as good. It is almost as good. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with this game. I thought a 1-animal zoo was viable. It turns out no animals, also completely viable. But yes, I guess we're just going to continue this until we get to year 100, because why not? Nothing's stopping me. This game isn't stopping me. Why isn't it stopping me? Well, we've done it, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 3rd of January of our 101st year. We've completed 100 total years, and in that time, we have had many, many guests. In fact, we can even check our little entrance gate. We've had an incredible 70,000 visitors into our wonderful, glorious zoo known as Monster Cocks, of course. Now, we do have really high average animal welfare, and that's because we have 78 animals kept in a permanent state of suffering inside of a cardboard box. But I think to end our actual experience today, I think it makes sense to actually get some staff back. Yes, I'm going to grab a few keepers, and you know what? I'm actually going to add some chickens back in, and we can select every animal in our storage. Well, here we go. Let's unleash the cock, as I say. Oh, God. And as you can see, look, they're all happy. They're incredible. Yes, apparently some of them are diseased.
Yay!
I don't care. It doesn't matter. The chickens are back. Everyone's happy. It's the best park you've ever seen, guys. It's full of chickens. Look at them go as they conga line their way around. Oh, it's so happy. It's so wonderful.
Yes.
And yes, of course, it will bankrupt us when we try and feed them, but it doesn't matter because I am now ready to retire. I've been custodian of the zoo for many hours of my finite human existence. And what do I have to show for it? One of the worst planet zoos ever featured and documented in YouTube history? Yes, I do. That's exactly what I have. Of course, if you did enjoy looking at all of these chickens today, then make sure to give this video a like, and why not consider subscribing? If you don't, you'll end up like this chicken here. Got unboxed into the pen and died. I love this game. Anyway, right, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you very much to all of our lovely channel members and patrons for funding this video. You're all absolutely fantastic. I hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye for now.
I knew there was going to be some sort of game breaking in this. Warpugs, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say the name of the zoo. I'm not going to say what was there. But you all know, and you all suffer with me on a day-to-day basis. Oh my God. Why? Why did I just, like, it's just a chicken, man. The guy made $300,000 with a single bird. But it's from Sussex, so I guess that's okay. Warpugs, this is the game, like, I need a game that I can play that is just laid back, chill. I've thought about Farming Simulator. I've thought about a whole bunch of other stuff. Laid back, chill, just enjoy it, everything like that. But my tendencies towards being a moron, I mean, they're heavy. They're very heavy. So I always wind up trying to break stuff. It is the nature of the beast. Warpugs, I'm going to take off from here. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below. Check the links in the description. This was a Spiffing Brit. And this was a 100-year zoo, 100-year challenge on a zoo that only had chickens. YouTube, everybody!